Welcome back, everybody. This is day 2 of the Battle of Chickamauga. I'm playing through the legendary campaign on Ultimate General Civil War as the Confederates, and as you can see, going into day 2, he's got me by about 6,000 men. Of course, that makes me mighty nervous because this is going to be a tough battle to win, even if I outnumbered him, as the Confederates did historically. So I'm going to talk through a little bit of my strategy here. This is probably going to be a 3-parter as far as how long this video goes for, just because this is such a long battle and there's so many parts to it. So my strategy for the first phase of day 2 is basically to hang on for dear life over here on my right and just let him throw his units at me and hope that in the process of doing that I can cause enough casualties to where I give myself an opportunity before the battle's over to counterattack and make something happen. So we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting everybody set up and into position. Nothing's going to happen for a little while, but once he starts getting his units into position, I will come back and we'll start the battle. Okay, so we're making our first contact with the enemy, and it's a bunch of skirmishers up here, and you can see he's got artillery up here somewhere too. But all of this is in the woods, and that's one of the things that makes Chickamauga such a challenging battle. Chickamauga was historically the second bloodiest battle of the Civil War, trailing only Gettysburg in terms of casualties. But what was different about this one was that there were far fewer men at this battle than there were at Gettysburg. Gettysburg had over 150,000 men when you combine both armies, only about 125,000 here. So comparatively speaking, the casualties were about the same as far as a percentage of the force involved. Of course, unlike Gettysburg, this was a Confederate victory. So what I'm hoping to do here is that he's going to come out here in the open trying to take this objective, and that I've got him trapped in this nice little crossfire. And it so far seems to be working. My concern is that it's just so easy for troops to appear out of nowhere because of all these woods that I just don't know what I'm going to be facing. So there, he secured the objective, and that's fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring the paper collar brigade out and try to get some fire on his flank if I can. Perfect. So we routed one before the other one came out, which, of course, both these guys are 3-star brigades. And I just want to hope that Croxton keeps firing on Harland. Alright, time out, because we got some reinforcements that have... Oh, no, that's not my reinforcements, that's my other flank. And, of course, he's going to take this objective here, and that's fine. I'm kind of conceding that at the moment. Here come my reinforcements. Just got to keep an eye out here because these units on my right flank are going to suffer a lot of casualties during this battle. What I'm hoping is by the time the entire battlefield takes shape, that the numbers are fairly even, because he's got me, like I said, by about 6,000 men. So I've got to bring that number down and give myself a chance. Alright, I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing during this battle, just because there's so many things that can go wrong. I'll put Huger over there. I'm going to, I think, put Frank over there as well. And for now, I'm going to bring these guys up here. I honestly can't believe he's lasting as long as he is right there. These skirmishers are driving me nuts. Alright, we're going to drop paper collar back now. until he decides to try again. Keep them in cover, especially since he's got artillery up here. Actually going to send this artillery over there. 6-pounders, those are smooth bores. We'll let them get nice and close. Alright, so for the time being, he's holding off. Of course, right now I've got a nice advantage on the field. Maybe I should be pressing this, but the problem is I'll run out of time, and then the tide's going to turn. But so far, so good. Alright, and there comes some of his reinforcements. So now the numbers will look a little bit more even. Of course, my concern again is that I'm just going to get completely surprised over here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and drop back. At least to right here. To keep them a little closer to my main line. Alright, so for the time being, we'll go ahead and speed up until something happens. Whoa! Okay. Now he's just going to be firing his cannon away. And I'm covered in the woods, so if I take a few casualties here and there, but I completely run him out of supply, that's fine. And there, he got more reinforcements, so now he's actually got the numbers. Now, I have a bunch of cavalry that will eventually come in on this day of the battle, and those are what I'm going to try to use to deal with some of these skirmishers. I'm going to try to get up and deal with his cavalry. But again, the woods make that really hard because cavalry is really not very effective in the woods. So I've got to try and catch somebody in the open and hope that I can completely devour him with my locust-like focus with 4 cavalry units before he can get back to the safety of the woods. Alright, so here comes the attack now on my left flank. What is now my left flank, eventually it's going to be my center. And again, I've got the cover of the woods, 100% cover, 96% cover. And I just want to let him throw his men at me. I want to inflict casualties, and then I can counterattack and take the objectives when the time comes for that. Alright, so there's the end of that phase. And I'm going to take a break real quick and jump right back in. Alright, this next phase again is only an hour long, so there's a lot of little pieces to all of this. And now we've got to kind of keep an eye out on 2 separate fronts at the moment, so I'm going to have to watch my mini-map a lot. But all these 3-star units, I want to just keep taking out as many of those as I can. He's got the advantage now by about 10,500 men and twice as many guns on the field. Here comes some more reinforcements. I have to decide where I want to put them. Let me pause for just a second. I'm going to put one right there, one over here. Because I just can't see what's going on, I want to keep my options open as much as I possibly can. Yeah, see, like right here. He's just going to have these units that are going to appear out of nowhere at times. Alright, let's pause for just a second. I'm thinking I'm probably okay over here. I might go ahead and send O'Hare over this way. Jeez, yeah, you can start to see now why there's going to be an issue. So what I've got to do again here is move up. I don't know where Hood's going. I tried to back him up, but he's backing up in a really strange way. He's kind of backing up this way. Don't quite get that. So we get the fire in on him. We drive him off, and then we just kind of rinse and repeat as much as possible. Meanwhile, keeping another eye out on what's going on over here. Supply is going to become an issue for these guys because I don't have... I've just got the one guy for supply right now. So I am a little concerned about that. I'm hoping that one of my reinforced units that comes up has supplies as well. Okay, I'm going to actually kind of spin Merritt around this way. See, Lily shouldn't be getting flanked there. That bothers me. Alright, we'll turn him. And again, I'm going to pause and just kind of keep an eye out on everything. He had a 10,500 man advantage. It's under 10 now, so things are going in the right direction. Just got to keep that happening. And I want to keep him in the open wherever possible. I'm a little concerned about Merritt right here, but that's why I'm going to bring Hall up as a reserve. So just kind of looking at everything, it's looking pretty good. So there's the Orphan Brigade. Orphan Brigade was heavily involved at Chickamauga. In fact, I just discovered last night that I actually had an uncle who was in the Orphan Brigade at Chickamauga. He actually was killed sometime later in the war at Jonesboro, Georgia. He was mortally wounded on August 31st of 1864. And he died the next day of those wounds. Yeah, see, this is the problem right here. I'm going to move Hood's brigade up and cover Lily's flank. No, Hood, where are you going? No. What are you doing? You have to face this way. Oh my gosh, this is awful. So basically, I've got to move Hood out here. Because he keeps, just for some reason, keeps turning to face Robinson. Alright, another break. I'm just kind of doing this in little chunks to kind of make it easier and more digestible for myself. And, okay. Alright, so this is where the battlefield opens up, and we've got basically what will be the battle for the rest of the time. And there's still another day to this battle. The main battle of Chickamauga was fought on September 19th and 20th. Of course, the first video I made was kind of the prelude to all that on the 18th, where the Confederacy was securing the bridges and preparing for the main attack. And of course, the main battle line was along this kind of east-west thing, and it was right here in the center that right here in this area somewhere, that Rosecrans, the commander of the Union Army, made that fatal blunder where he believed there was a hole in his line that wasn't really there, and he moved some forces to plug the hole that wasn't there and made an actual hole that allowed the Confederates to attack and kind of eventually win the battle on September 20th. So we're going to see how this all shakes out. Right now I'm just trying to hang on for dear life. What I'm going to do over here is I'm going to abandon this leftmost objective altogether. I don't need it to win or to get a draw, and I'm going to try to concentrate my forces right up in here and build a battle line about right here, and that's where I'll try to swing around eventually and get him. So I've got these three separate units, and I'm going to send my cavalry up because they're really only going to be effective in open territory anyway, so I'm going to look for an opportunity there. Here come more reinforcements. I got to use Hood to kind of deal with Minty here. So once these reinforcements come in, I'm going to kind of decide what to do with them. So let me pause again for a second, and I'm just going to start moving the cavalry up. I want to keep all of that cavalry together if I can. And then these guys, I'm going to send up to help out with this left side of my force. I've said this before, but one of the things I definitely wish they had included in this game was a way that you could issue orders in such a way that you could tell them, okay, I want you to end up here, take the roads, instead of having to kind of draw that manually. And again, here's my cavalry. I'm kind of sending them up here, and then I'll decide where best to use them. Oh, jeez. Okay. So this is, again, this is what makes Chickamauga such a beast of a battle, is that you can think that you've got a decent battle line, and then just a 3-star brigade comes out of absolutely nowhere and surprises you. And that's how the real battle was. Luckily, I've kind of prepared for that as best I could. There's George Thomas, the Rock of Chickamauga, as he came to be known, because while everybody else broke late in the battle after that hole was created, Thomas stood strong. He was a Southerner. I think he was from Virginia, but he stayed loyal to the Union. So Hampton's Legion is going to get into position right there. We're going to get some artillery up. Of course, everything takes forever to do in this battle because of the battlefield and the way it is. Constantly having to kind of keep one eye on what's happening on the map at all times. And again, I want to keep another eye on the numbers. Right now, he's got me by a little less than 9,000 men. I think for the most part, most of my troops should be on the battlefield now. Okay, I'm going to pause again. This being legendary, it's just the way you have to do things. I just gotta pause. Keep an eye out on what's going on at all times in all places as best I can. All right, General Johnston, you're not going to want to hang out there by yourself, sir. Okay. Of course, there you can see the ammo issue has begun. I'm going to start bringing my cavalry around. I don't think they can cross up here, so I think they're going to have to probably sneak across right here, if I remember right. But I'm going to put them right here for now. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Paper Collar again, try to get into these guys' flanks one more time. Alright, so now that we're on the whole battlefield, let me pause for just a second and review what's needed for victory or even a draw. For a draw, I have to hold Jay's Mill, Brotherton Road, Kelly Ford, Brotherton Cabin. So that's here, there, which it might be the trickiest one, there. Okay, so it's these first four. That one, that one, that one, and that one. So it's the top four objectives. To even get a draw, I've got to hold those plus hold one of these other ones. One of the last three. Which I don't even think all of them are on the battlefield yet, are they? Vineyard Field, Lee Gordon Mills, Horseshoe Ridge. So there, and yeah, I don't think Horseshoe Ridge is opened up on the battlefield yet. For victory, one of those three. So basically, really the only difference between a victory and a draw in that case is the number of casualties that are inflicted. 10% more on the enemy. Which I guess makes sense because even though the Confederates won this battle, they did suffer more casualties. The casualty numbers were fairly even on both sides, but they were a little deceiving because the Union had so many more missing. So I think they had a lot that were captured. So really, there's very little difference between a victory and a draw, assuming I'm going to inflict 10% more casualties, which I absolutely have to do if I'm even going to have a chance for a draw in this battle. The casualties seems like a non-factor to me. That seems kind of obvious that I'll do that. Alright, let's drop Paper Collar back. That was mainly just meant to kind of harass his flank a little bit. Alright, I'm going to pause because I see that we're making contact down here with the enemy, and I don't have my other units in a position yet. I'm actually going to rush these guys over here. Oh no, the other one's already going. Pause again. Okay. So this is basically going to be two separate battles. You got the battle down here on my left flank and then the battle on the right flank. Nice thing is I got lots of artillery over here. Bad news is, of course, that there's wood, so how much does it really help? Okay, got my whole cavalry together now. I'm holding everywhere, that's the good news. But at some point I have to counterattack, which is the bad news. But about 8,600 men is his advantage right now. I've got to bring that number down. I can't win if it's that high. Okay, he's bringing a bunch of cavalry at me over here now. Speaking of, okay, so let's go ahead and get these guys resupplied over here. And then I'll have to come up and do the same here because these guys are down to about half supply. And ever so slightly, or ever so cautiously, I'm gonna start moving my cavalry up while my left flank continues to get into position. Whoa, where's Carr going? No, dude. So this is where, again, because of the nature of this battlefield, I've just got to be so cautious. I don't want to be riding along with my cavalry and run into 6,000 infantry somewhere that I didn't even know was back there. I think I'm going to go ahead and advance here. I feel strong enough to do that. Oh, jeez, okay. Hood just broke and exposed Lily's flank in the process. So I gotta move O'Hare up to deal with that. Actually, I think I'll be okay. This is just such a nightmare of a battle. So this is kind of the first little piece of my counterattack. It's just going ahead and advancing here. Alright, and this is exactly what I'm afraid of. Is discovering that there are units there that I didn't know were there. The visibility is just so poor in this battle. Everything's solid here. We're just going to come down and reinforce real quick. Boy, that battery's just about toast. Alright, I'm pretty well into position here. Alright, I'm going to take my chances. Of course, I've got them in the woods, and that's of course going to make it really difficult. Oh, yep. No. There's McCook sitting in the back. This is going to happen a lot. I'm going to start moving in with cavalry only to find out there's another unit that I didn't see. So I'm going to pull them back. So it's giving me the, hey, you better go take Brotherton Road, exclamation point right now. So I guess we may need to move forward right there. So I'm going to pause for just a second and kind of figure out my plan and come back. So what I'm curious about is, and yeah, it's never really that clear. I'm just not entirely sure whether or not I have to have Brotherton Road, if that's why it's giving me that exclamation point. So we're going to kind of find out, because I'm just not ready to advance yet. Not on this day, not on this phase, because I know he's got a ton of men parked in there that I don't see. And I really want to concentrate on slowly moving this part of my force forward, and hopefully in the process relieve some of the pressure on my right flank. So he's got me by about 8,300 men now. Alright, let's rush these guns. If I can charge across the water that well. Alright, we're making contact with the enemy now. And the tricky part is I've got a lot of artillery here. I'll try to leapfrog those so I have some firing and some moving at the same time, but that's going to take a little bit of time to do. Take that battery out. Alright, we're going to go back and resupply the other side now. Bye-bye. Alright, that battery's toast. Now we can come up here and get on Carlin's flank. Mason's got a rough job here because he's got to cross over a couple of different waterways. Hate firing on Watkins. That's my wife's maiden name. I feel kind of like I'm killing family, and I actually have ancestors from the south that had that last name as well. Good Welsh name. Alright, let's keep one eye on what's going on over here. Not a lot at the moment, which is totally fine by me. I have no intention of advancing any further than I need to here. I don't like leaving these guys out in the open like that, but I think we'll be okay for now. There we go, Carlin's routed. So eventually, once I'm able to take this objective, I've got to focus on these other three. But that'll come later. Okay, 8,500 is what he's got me by right now. Problem is, as I advance, my line gets a little longer and it gets a little more tricky. Got to push this guy out of these fortifications. He's got some more showing up over here. All these skirmishers are just annoying as heck. What is Harlan doing? Back up. We'll let Harlan stay. We'll tell Merritt to back up because he's the smaller of the two units. Alright, Carlin. Bring it on. And of course, then the goal becomes to start moving up and eventually link up with these guys. Historically, it happened the other way. The right flank swung around for the Confederacy and made this kind of east-west battle line. I'm doing the opposite of that. I just got to be careful on my flanks. This may have been the place to have the cavalry. Wow, okay. So his counterattack was kind of effective here. At least for a little while. He kind of broke both of these units. Alright. But he's only down to about a 7,700 man advantage. I got to see that number keep going down. Okay, we're going to stop right there. That'll be enough for this video, and we will get into part 3 and hopefully victory at Chickamauga here in the next section. So go ahead and let me know what you think. Do you like my strategy? Do you not like it? Do you think maybe I need to be more aggressive, or am I being too aggressive? I'd love to hear your thoughts and how you think I should proceed going into this last phase of the battle. Use that comment section below. If you hit that thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit subscribe. And you can also press that little button down there with the bell, and that'll allow you to receive notifications. So anytime I upload a video or go with a live stream, anything like that, you'll get a notification of that. So thanks, as always, for watching. We'll see you again next time with part 3 of the Battle of Chickamauga.